If a guy tells you that you're everything he wants in a woman, but he's not ready for a relationship, what do you do?
I hate you.
Low-key, I was kind of using them to get over the other guy that I was just now talking about.
Basically, y'all are just having sex. What do you mean?
Does it have to be sex?
Well, that's the way I see it.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chidichinaka, and today we have a guest. She's actually been on my channel before. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Queen Jen.
Oh my gosh. Okay, her name is Jennifer. She was in the video. Well, she's in my vlogs and stuff like that. So if you watch my vlogs, you'll know. But today we're just gonna be answering a few questions that I put together. Jen doesn't know the questions yet. Hopefully it can help somebody. Some of these questions I got from like this website. Then it's just kind of like some questions that's been on my mind, questions that I've seen in other videos. So yeah, let's begin. So question number 1. What do you think about your significant other having a best friend of the opposite sex?
That's funny, I'm dealing with that now, actually.
Are you really?
Well, I mean, it's like, I don't necessarily care, but if I see something in your phone and y'all are flirting, how's that your best friend? And I mean, I understand that this person said they've known them since, like, you know, high school days and all that stuff. That's understandable, but you can't say they're your best friend and then, you know, start flirting with them and doing all this extra stuff, you know?
Yeah,
that's just like me. Honestly, I'm a flirt, so no matter what, even if I'm not trying to flirt, it's gonna come off like I'm flirting.
I mean, but I still don't think that, I still think flirting is obvious. It's like, it's obvious if you're saying like, oh yeah, like I want you to come over, or saying something like, oh, you look so good today. Like, you aren't just gonna be texting guys that unless it, like, flirting can be considered anything to anybody, but I just think that like obvious flirting is kind of like what you're more so referring to.
Yeah.
But do you think you're like that kind of person that like if someone goes through your phone, they'd be like, oh, who's this?
Not at all, no.
Okay, well, in my opinion, I've always been like back and forth with this because I personally don't really have guy best friends. But I'm sure if that's really like your best friend, it would be hard to kind of like just drop them or kind of like stop hanging out with them just because your new girlfriend or whatever's in your life now. But honestly, when it comes to like making me feel comfortable, I don't think I would feel comfortable with him having a best friend, especially if the best friend isn't like my friend. Like, if I just don't know the girl and low-key she may not even like me for all I know, it's like, what's really going on? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that was really his best friend. She would try to get to know me or something like that. I would probably try to get to know the girl just to like make things cordial.
I mean, that's what
I don't know.
I mean, I have a best friend, and I remember when he first had, like, he got a new girlfriend or whatever, it was kind of a problem because the girl thought, like, you know, we had something just because, like, we were really, really close. Really, really close. So it's like, obviously we have, like, certain jokes where it's like, wait, I thought y'all are just friends. Yeah. But it's not like that. And so I remember she was trying to like tell him to stop being my friend and do all this stuff. I'm like, are you serious? Like, I've known him longer than you. Like, it's not like that. I don't care if y'all are dating, whatever. If anything, I'm the one who told him to like talk to you. So it's like, don't come in like, and that's just with anybody. Don't go in trying to like ruin the friendship just because, you know how you feel. Just get to know that person and see where they're coming from, and I feel like everything will be good. But
how would you differentiate that? Because you said you're on the other side of that too. Like, if what your guy and his best friend are saying sounds flirtatious, you're also gonna kind of be like, what's that about? Like, you're probably not gonna automatically just feel okay with it.
That's true. I just need to get to know that girl.
I low-key never been in that situation either. Like, on the other side, even like no guy that I've like dated or talked to has really had girl best friends, so I never really worried about that. Maybe if I was in the situation it'd be different, but I do think it's like different from everybody because like you said, some people have those best friends where they really low-key like them and maybe something just stopped them from being together, or they could just be like childhood best friends that just like love each other and just want to see each other do well or whatever. So I don't know, it just depends. But let's move to the next question. What do you think about going back to your ex?
I've done that a couple of times actually.
I feel like we all have.
But I feel like we do, well, I do it personally because it's like I don't want to start all over, get to know someone else, and like, you know, have all those feelings all over. I feel like it's easier to just be with that person just because you know them and you know how things will play out regardless. But
I mean, I don't know. Well,
it depends how it ends.
Depends how it ends. That's what everybody says, but it's also like, you could be like, oh, he cheated on me, but like maybe that was like literally not in his character at all, and like you went back and he says it's gonna be all better. And for some people, they end up getting like married, and maybe the person actually never cheats again. But I've gone back to my ex, and needless to say, am I with that ex now? Nope. And I just think that you have to be grown enough to like judge whether or not that's the kind of ex you need to be going back to, because I was just more so comfortable with the person, so I kept going back. And not like going back like really trying anything. It's like obviously they wanted me back too because they're the ones that did something wrong, right? But I would still kind of like fall into it, but then I would still kind of like trying to make them feel guilty for what they've done in the past, or like I still have some kind of animosity towards them. So it really just made the situation 10 times worse. We probably might have even been able to be friends if we had never kept on doing this back and forth thing. I don't know. I just feel like I always bring age into it because I feel like nowadays you have to think of your age. It's like, I don't think I have to go back to an ex, like, and when you say go back, I don't mean like, oh, 3 years down the line, y'all realize y'all really need each other. It's like the way it always happens is like you and your person break up or whatever, and then y'all in 2 weeks like find each other.
Okay, okay.
And then that can continue for as long as like a year, 2 years, for some people like 2 years, and you're just going back and forth, getting your heart broken over and over again, whether it's you hurting them or them hurting you. So I just think like I'm young. I don't really need to like, if I'm done with somebody, I low-key need to learn to just like be done with it and kind of move on with my life. And if God like brings us back together for some reason, once we've like got into a new mindset or something, maybe.
Yeah.
But how did it work out whenever you went back with your ex?
Oh, it was terrible. I just would never do that again. And the thing is, I'm still kind of dealing with that in a sense, but it's not where I'd go back. It's still like where there's still feelings involved. Like, you know, obviously after parties, if I stopped doing that, but if that person gets drunk, he would like text me all this stuff and try to like, you know, come see me or hang out the next day and do all this stuff. But it's like, we already had that conversation where it's like, okay, you did this, I did this. I don't think we would be good together. And honestly, I just feel like we would be better off as friends. But just because the way he is, it's never gonna be like that. He's just gonna want more.
Right. Like for me, I basically for me it was more of like a toxic situation. So like at a point it was like there's nothing to be friends about, like there's nothing to like even talk to each other about. It's just kind of like we learned that we had too many emotions in the whole thing, that it's like if we kept on doing it, we would just keep hurting each other. We were just like, I don't know, it's like we'll call each other and then like maybe start arguing about something that happened like before or whatever.
You said that.
And what?
Y'all can't be friends. Jen, we're just friends.
Well, that was before I knew this. Obviously, I had to know this. I mean, obviously, we tried to just be friends. We did. And then, but obviously, my thing is, I never was the one that like tried to like take it further. I'll never come back and be like, okay, well, maybe we could work it out. I don't really think like that. He would always be the one like, you know, I just have a lot of growing to do. And honestly, I feel like I'm a better person than I've ever been before. And I just know like, if you give me another chance, and I'd be quick to be like, no, I don't want to give you another chance, whatever. But I would still like be around. Like we'll still, if he calls me, he wants to go somewhere, I'll go. If he wants me to come over, I'll come over. If he wants to come over to my house, I'll let him come over. And it's like, we just kept on doing that. And it was just toxic because it's like, we were kind of like trying to move on. We could tell we were trying to move on. Like, he wanted to move on and I wanted to move on, but we still were stuck, like, still like messing with each other.
Place.
You're like, what second place? Whatever, long story short, I don't think that when you're this young, or like, you don't need to go back to an ex like in the next couple of weeks, or like even the next couple of months. Like, y'all have to do like some serious growing, and it needs to be something you pray about. It needs to be something that you like ask friends about, ask family about, before you kind of jump right back into it, especially if it ended in a very bad way. Even if it didn't, sometimes you just both need to grow.
That's how I ended mine.
Or did you?
I did.
Okay, next question. What is your opinion on friends with benefits?
I don't believe in that.
How would you define it, first of all?
Friends with, basically, y'all are just having sex. What do you mean?
Does it have to be sex?
Well, that's the way I see it. Every time someone says friends with benefits, it's like they're having sex.
Well, what about when you're a virgin? What about when you're a virgin and you're just like kind of like...
So then what's the benefit?
The benefit is like, because people will just be friends but still like keep each other company, like
then y'all can just be friends.
Chill. No, like Netflix and chill, or like go on dates, or maybe even kiss. Like they could do anything other than sex. It could just like, I think friends with benefits is more, I think it's more like acting like y'all are together when you just aren't. Y'all are just friends.
So then y'all are being childish.
Yeah, but what if the feelings aren't really there? You're literally just keeping each other company.
Then y'all are friends. No, honestly, okay. What is friends with benefit to y'all? Like, I just think about it's just sex.
I believe in Google.
That's basically what it is. Like you said, you do things in relationships. I mean, you do things that people do in relationships, which is have sex and kiss.
Not all people have
and
sex,
do all this stuff. I mean, yeah, but that's how I think of it.
Okay, well hold on.
Yeah,
it does kind of say something like that, but let me get a better, it was Urban Dictionary.
Having sexual interests.
Okay, a friend with who one has sex without a romantic relationship or commitment. Contemporary definitions for friends with benefit: a friend with whom one has occasional sexual relations without a commitment or dating arrangement.
Oh.
So it's just about sex?
Yeah, that's what it is. I don't believe in that.
Well,
it's
yeah,
we're together or not. I don't know.
It's just like, what are you doing then? It's like, wait, no, like literally, like, just what are you doing?
And first off, I don't believe in that because it's gonna end up being more, or one person's gonna end up wanting more because there's gonna be feelings involved.
But everybody says that, but I know people who've been in friends with benefits relationships and said there was just no feelings there. It was just kind of like
they're lying. They're suppressing it. What?
You think so?
Because one of my friends was in a relationship like that. She always said, "It's never like that, Jen. It's not like that. We're just friends. I don't really like him. I just like this and that." And I'm just like, okay. But then she'd get mad when she saw him with somebody else. I'm like, but it's just friends with benefits, right?
That's funny.
It's stupid.
Okay, see, but that's also a thing where you could also argue it as just being like possessive. Because, okay, I'll say it this way. I've never had, well, I won't say, well, no, I've never had like a friends with benefits or something like that. But I've like talked to people that I don't necessarily see a future with. And I knew it wasn't really going anywhere, and I didn't kind of really want it to go anywhere. I was just kind of like, yeah, let's just go to the movies and...
Wait. Oh, anyway.
What?
Oh, okay.
You have something to say?
No, I don't.
Okay, I don't think you do either. Okay.
What movie did y'all watch when you went to the...
We've watched a lot of movies, actually. So, I mean, I can't even remember. It's been so long.
Recently.
It's been so
just this
long.
weekend?
No, not this weekend. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, let's move on. So, I've had, like, people where it's not people. Low-key, just one person. And low-key, I was kind of using them to get over the other guy that I was just now talking about, where like we dated for a long time, whatever, and I was just like needing to get over him. And you know, people say it's not good, but the way that I think it's easiest to get over somebody is to get under somebody else.
Literally.
Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Okay, just basically like literally the week after I was like, oh no, I'm done with this guy, like I'm not talking to him anymore.
Next week she said
the
she's
next
done
week
again.
No, not that.
She's done.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm talking about when I said I was done with the first guy.
Yeah, and then
I
the
was
next
like,
week you said...
Yeah, but I'm saying the 1 week that I actually was done with him, that day where he texted you and all that stuff. Yeah, I was actually done. And literally the next week, this other person like DMs me and we just started talking and hanging out. And then from there, it was just like, I didn't like necessarily like them, or like
he's cute though.
He's cute. I mean, but he's immature. But he's a nice person. Dude, you're funny. Okay, anyways, moving on. He's cool. Like he okay, in the beginning he was like very like just a nice guy. Like he was treating me the way that like a girl wanted to be treated, especially at that time because I just gotten out of something. But I knew it wasn't going anywhere, and I also knew like that's not what I'm looking for or whatever. But I kept him around. Like,
but why?
I think just to keep my mind busy, like so I'm not thinking about the other person in any way, shape, or form. Like nothing would have ever made me want to call, except for that one day. Remember when he was here? And then the niggas ain't shitness came out of certain people as well.
If only y'all knew the story.
Yeah, I really wish one day when I'm old, but not old, like when I'm out of college and all that, maybe I'll do a story time on it because it's actually a crazy story. Like it's a story that I want to tell, but I wouldn't want to tell it right now because too many people would know. I don't know, I'm saying like, I don't want to call that a friends with benefits thing because it's not, but it's still like, you could consider it that way because I was just keeping him around. But, and he could have been doing the same thing too.
But that's not the case anymore.
What do you mean?
I feel like it's more than that.
I don't think so.
I do. Jen, I'm just at the library sleeping.
And I was at the library. I fell asleep on my laptop yesterday. Anyways, move to the next question. Let's move on. So basically, you don't think friends with benefits works, especially if there's just like no feelings involved. Like if you're supposed to have no feelings involved, I don't think it works.
That's funny. I was low-key kind of tricked into almost doing that, and I'm just like, wait, what? My ex, like my ex from a while ago. It was crazy.
Tricked into it?
I didn't even know what was happening. I was just like we broke up, but we were still friends, and we were still like kind of doing the same things.
Like you were still together?
Yeah, but certain stuff I wouldn't do anymore just because like you're not my man, so I'm not gonna do that. And like, I don't know.
If a guy tells you that you're everything he wants in a woman, but he's not ready for a relationship, what do you do?
I hate you.
I mean, I've had that deal too. Everyone has.
Wait, what was the question?
Oh my god.
Read that again. I need to process it.
Okay, you're annoying. If a guy tells you that you're everything he wants in a woman, but he's not ready for a relationship, what do you do?
I mean,
like, yeah, what do you do basically?
do you want to take this first?
Okay.
So then what are we doing?
I don't know. It just depends how long y'all have been dealing with each other because it's easy to be like, run.
Get out.
It's easy to just be like, you know, leave that guy alone. He's not serious, girl. He don't like you like that. But no, like, he could just be scared to be in a relationship. Maybe he knows he's not ready for that. But one thing that I started feeling like is that, once again, I'm young. And I don't think I need to be waiting around for a guy to be ready. Because if I've like been ready, then what's the problem? And then it's like, let's say I'm not even ready, but you want the man to kind of like take control. You want him to say, I'm ready to be in a relationship with you. I want this for both of us. And then low-key, you're the one that's deciding if you are ready to be in a relationship. I think that makes more sense because we're women. You're supposed to be pursued.
Yeah.
And in that sense, like, so yeah. So I feel like I don't want to ever like wait around for a guy to be ready because that's how guys will get you. You'll go through all this stuff, doing all this like relationship sort of stuff. Meanwhile, you have no title. So like, let's say something does go wrong. They'll be quick to be like, well, I told you I wasn't ready. We're not really dating anyway. So I can't hear that because if it was switched now,
it'd be a problem.
That'd be a problem. So, I mean, I don't like that, but I also just think it depends on the amount of time that you've been dealing with each other.
Well, that's happened to me before too. And I usually tell my mom, you know, things like this. And she literally tell me, well, if he's not ready, then just date around. Bring everyone that you're dating like home. Like not necessarily like dating boyfriend, girlfriend, but like, you know, getting to know, like bring all them home. And like she'll, you know, as a mom, she's like, she'll help me with all this stuff. But it's just like when I was presented with that information or whatever, it's like feelings were already involved.
That's how
I'm not just gonna not talk to you. Like, I'm not just gonna like stop or end everything. Even though I always said that, I was like, okay, you know what? I don't care. I have all these other people who want to talk to me, like this and that, but I'm not gonna go talk to them. I only want to talk to them. So it's just like, I was basically playing the waiting game, and now the wait is over, and I conquered. I came. I saw.
What? You're very ugly.
No, but yeah, I don't know. It just depends on, you know, how y'all's relationship is and all this stuff. And it also depends on their past, because you never know what happened in their past to why they would say, you know, they're not ready for this.
I mean, that's true.
And low-key, when people say stuff like that, well, for me, it makes me like think about my life too. Like, am I actually ready to want to date you and all this stuff?
But that's the thing, you may not be. But I would like to know that the man is sure enough to like say he knows he wants to be with you, because either way, it's like, I don't know, it's like better you get, this sounds bad, but it's better a man gets turned down than the woman. If you know what I mean. Because guys are the pursuers.
They're used to that.
Yeah, it's like, not every girl you like is gonna like you back. Obviously not every guy you like is gonna like you back, but girls aren't pursuers. Like, I'm not gonna go and start hitting up a guy and be like, I'm just really feeling you and I just would love to be in a relationship. That's not my part. That's not what I'm supposed to do. You as a man, just traditionally, you're supposed to show your interest in the woman, and she decides if she wants to be with you or not. So what's different now? Like, I don't like that whole I'm not ready, you know, you're the perfect woman, but I'm not ready. Because then, just kind of the way I've been feeling lately, I'll be quick to be like, okay, well, I'm not ready either. Catch you later. And it's like Jen said, it's hard because if you've already gotten feelings invested in all that, that's weird. I don't know, like, it's hard to just drop them. But I do also think it's like a wake-up call for them sometimes. Like, they'll probably like notice like, oh, do I really want to go like them feeling like they're gonna lose you for a split second, even if they're not really, that might wake them up a little bit more. But then again, there's those guys that'll be like, well, you abandoned me when just because I needed a little bit more time. You didn't even know I was gonna ask you out tomorrow or something. You know how they be talking.
And y'all should always remember, for a relationship to work, the dude has to like you more. It does not matter. He just has to like you more.
And that's real.
And once you have that, you're set.
But how do you know that he likes you more? Like, how do you know you don't like him more, but you're just suppressing it? Well, do you mean like he needs to show more effort? Because that could basically be
like he should just like go out of the way to do certain things. Because naturally for women, like we would normally do that anyways. If you don't feel like, oh, okay, baby, okay, I'll be right there.
Yeah, we're naturally
nurturing and all this stuff. They don't necessarily do that per se, but when they start, you know, showing more interest, being more nurturing and all that stuff, then it's like, wow, he really likes me. Okay, maybe this can work, you know.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess we have shown like that it could go really either way. Like, it could, well, one thing I'll say that you did was kind of like you demanded your like respect in that sense. Like, you can't just be there and just be like, oh, you're not ready? Oh, okay. You have to kind of like let them know like, hey, look, I'm, you know, I have other options. I can be out there doing whatever I want. I can be dating someone else, because pretty much, I think like if he really cares, he'll like make an effort.
And that's what happened.
Ew.
My sausage fingers.
It's okay, Jen. Look at my hands.
I'd rather have skinny hands.
No, look. My nails.
Oh yeah, that's ugly. I had to pop off all my nails.
I'm trying to. They're so hard. Mine's so hard.
Take a card and just. That's what I did. Oof.
Okay, well, anyways, this video went pretty long. I really hope y'all enjoyed it. We just wanted to like share a little bit of insight. Hopefully like our advice could like help somebody. If not, hopefully y'all just enjoyed hearing our voices.
And if y'all would like a segment on Chidi's channel with us answering
girl talk,
just, you know, we can start this. It'll be every Friday.
Well, on Fridays. I don't know about every Friday, but we can do no Sundays. People like to watch
what mimosa. Just like, hey girl.
Mine will be orange juice, of course. No mimosa for me.
Okay, guys.
What?
Well, alright guys, we'll see y'all later. Bye.
Ew, she's been practicing that. I've not been practicing it like you.
Bye.